Houston, we have a problem. And the problem is this. Now, I know y'all can see this and this looks great. It looks awesome, doesn't it? Stylized text. What a fantastic thing. The problem isn't the text itself. It's how did we get to this point? And why is it so hard to do in Davinci Resolve? Let's talk about it. So today in today's video, I'm just breaking down how I got to this point of this stylized text in DaVinci. And throughout this video, I'm going to just highlight my thought process in getting to this point, and also asking you guys for help to help me figure out why this is so hard, but also maybe even find a better solution, and maybe even get this video to the DaVinci team, the Black Magic team, and ask them, please, DaVinci, heart to heart, we're cool right now, but I need to be friends with you, because if you guys were just easier on people that like to do motion graphics in their videos and stuff like that, people like me, that's like, I like to dibble and dabble and stuff like that. It is so hard to do motion graphics sometimes in DaVinci for whatever reason. But we're going to get into that a little bit later. I'm not going to complain too much. Let's just hop into the computer and see what it is that I'm talking about. So we are now inside of DaVinci right now. This is what it looks like. So we see the text, you see the effect. Looks really nice, looks really cool. Let's show you how to get this and why this is a problem right here. So this right here isn't text, right? Isn't a regular text file. So let's go over to a text file. So here's a regular text file, right? You know, this is what you're used to when you getting a text file. You can make these out of anything. You go up to your effects panel, you go up to, you know, titles, you know, pull a text plus down, right? You pull a text plus down, and then from there you can type in whatever you want. Let's do test for now. I'm gonna put it in impact because that is my favorite font. I'm gonna make it big. So with this right here, I was like, I love messing around with text. Text is great, but I like style. So sometimes I'll add like Gaussian blurs on top of them, anything to make it kind of like grungy or like to distort it a little bit, because why not? And I feel like it makes the thing. So I had the bright idea that, hey, I want the text to be affected by a Gaussian blur, but I don't want my entire clip underneath it to be affected. So my first instinct was to go down to, you know, filters and type in halation, right? And I wanted to drag and drop that on here. So as you can see, when you drag and drop halation onto the text file, nothing happens. You can increase all these things. You can even increase this, and nothing happens. Global bid, nothing happens. So I was like, oh, well, it doesn't work in the effects panel. So my next bright idea was like, okay, let me go over to the color tab. Color tab, we familiar with the color tab. This is great. Type in halation. Put that in the color grade thing to see if it affects the text. Again, same thing. Nothing of the sort happens. I was like, okay, yep, that makes sense. That's not busted at all. That is great. Yeah. So that didn't work. All right. So we're back to square one. We have text that we want to add this effect to, but we can't figure out how. My next thing was the adjustment clip. So as you can see, as soon as you put the adjustment clip over the text, it applies the halation effect. So you can go take an adjustment clip, apply the halation, and, you know, set the parameters and whatnot, and it will be fully functional. You will have text with halation. The only problem with this is if you want, when you take this halation, right, and put it over your footage, it affects the whole entire footage, where we just want to purely affect the text. We don't want to affect the footage as well. So me coming from Premiere Pro in the Adobe Suite, I'm like, oh, this is going to be easy. All we have to do from here is nest the clips, or in Davinci, compound them. So once you compound them, it'll be easy peasy. Nothing should change. Okay? So I do that. I go ahead and I make a new compound clip, call this test, and you create that. So you got a compound clip right here, name it test, and now you want to put that over our footage. So I hope you seeing what I'm seeing is, as soon as you make it a compound clip, what happens? The transparency goes away. You no longer have transparency. Why do we not have transparency, you ask? Because when you compound an adjustment layer, right, the adjustment layer takes away its transparency. Well, Anthony, how do you know this? Well, another thing that I tried to do was put the text into a timeline. So let's come over to this timeline over here. So here's the adjustment layer on the timeline, right? And so on this timeline, as you can see, it's black. But because you can do the same thing with a compound clip in a separate timeline. So this timeline right here is this timeline 2. All I did is take this timeline 2 and drag it onto this, and you got the same thing, same timeline. Cool. But as you can see, I'll remove the adjustment layer. The adjustment layer is now moved. When you move that, what do we have? Transparency. Say it with me now. Transparency. Great. Beautiful. But as soon as you move the adjustment layer back over this, again, no transparency. It's black. So for some reason, and Davinci, please help me out with this. For some reason, when you have either a second timeline or a compound clip nesting, when you have an adjustment layer there, the adjustment layer no longer has transparency, like an alpha channel. Like the alpha channel automatically goes black as soon as you put it in a compound clip or in another timeline. And hopefully when I'm saying this is making sense to the people that are watching. This right here is so frustrating. So, Anthony, how did you end up getting this effect? Like, how did you end up finally making this work? I'll show you. So as we can see in this timeline, we have the in and outs. So basically what I did is I ended up exporting this, right? I exported this as a DNHR. So I exported the alpha of this and I put it in, one of my folders on my thing. So what you do to export the transparency on a specific clip, sorry about that, you go to QuickTime, you click on QuickTime, go to codec, DNHR is the codec. You come down here, you say export alpha, boom. But that didn't particularly work when I remember doing it the first time. So to this clip, you have to go into the Fusion page. So you come over to the Fusion in the DNHR clip, and this is what you have to do. So as you can see, what we have here is a media 1 put into a merge node, and you take a Luma keyer. And with the Luma keyer, you key out all the black. And with the black took out, you're left over with whatever you exported when you first exported. And then you get this, which you still have like edges here. It's not perfect. It's by all means just is what it is. So basically what I'm saying is this is broken. Why does this exist? Why is it so difficult to put halation on text? And just to go a step further, let's try one more thing. We got to go back into the Fusion tab for this. So in the Fusion tab, as you can see, this is another thing that just didn't make sense to me. So we have our text, right? Let's change this to test so we can just make it easy on us. So we have our text, right? Our text has halation on it in the Fusion tab right here. This is halation. So, you can upgrade the strength, you can change the highlights, whatnot, all the things that you might want to do to the text, you can do it here. When you go back to your regular timeline, you see this? You see this? You see whenever you play, how every time you play it, the effect isn't there, and also the effect doesn't look how strong it looked when you're in the Fusion tab. So same text. This is the same clip right here, right? Same clip 14. And inside of the Fusion tab, looks amazing, looks immaculate, looks beautiful. You go to the timeline. What happened? And something that made me upset? If you were to try to go to export this, right? Just this clip. Do you know when you go to export regular like H.264 file, it literally doesn't render the effect. The effect completely just disappears. It goes back to regular text, just like how it does when you're playing the clip. Like when you press play, that same thing will happen when you try to render it out as well. So the only option is the option I showed earlier, is that's the only solution that I have found for this clip. And that is completely frustrating. So for my Davinci community, for the people who edit videos, for my video editors out there, please help. Please help. Blackmagic Davinci, please make it easier for people who do motion graphics and enjoy your platform to edit videos in. Please make it easier for us to compound clips and nest things. Like an adjustment layer's alpha should not be affected when you compound a clip. And I understand that, this is probably way more complicated than just some simple code that you can put in. I understand. I get it. But I'm asking, you know what I'm saying? As someone who uses the studio version of your program, your software, please make this work. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little mini tutorial, as well as a little bit of complaint. And I'm just sending out this message into the void and hoping somebody somewhere knows an answer, can figure this out better than I can, because this is how I understood it, this is how I perceived it, and I tried everything I can, and I still got a result that was like, it was okay. It wasn't the best, but yeah, help a brother out. Help a brother out, please help a brother out. But this is Anthony POG. I'm out. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Yes, I am putting this on my main channel. I know I post Christian content, and this is me persevering and fellowshipping with my community. So, hey, you know what I'm saying? God bless you. Enjoy your day. I'm out.